My name is Jeff Frater. I'm here to make a video presentation on the power of pivoting. When I decided to make this video, it was because I saw a YouTube clip, Jack Serra seminar on. In the middle of the seminar, he was talking about pivoting and why it was not a good idea and why he did not like to teach it in his system. For me, I really don't have a problem with him not teaching pivoting because I'm not a student, and I have no problems with him teaching it to other people because they're not my students and it's not going to affect me one bit. So whatever he teaches, that's his mentality, that's his style, that's his way of doing things. You know, I applaud him for that. That's, you know, people are going to follow him. That's great, fantastic. It's not going to affect me one bit. But what I would like to do is, on this video, is state my case and the reasons why I believe pivoting is important and why we as Kung Fu San Soo people and why we should incorporate pivoting in our system. And to me, it's already in our system, so what does it matter anyway? To say you're never going to pivot on the ball of your foot and turn your body and get some certain amounts of power that every other boxer in this world does is ludicrous. To me, it's not a good idea to say that and try to spread the word saying don't pivot, it's not good for you. Just use the big muscles of your legs, it's all you need, and that's it. So to me, that's just a fallacy that needs to be kind of dealt with, and that's what I'm doing on this video. So I don't mean to push anyone's buttons, I don't mean to offend anybody, it's just my interpretation and my belief that I'm going to give to you guys. If I do offend anybody, it's not my intentions. If your feelings are hurt, feel free to contact me. Feel free to come and talk to me personally. I have no problem with that. So I'm very easy to find. My name is Jeff Frater. You could always look me up online. I'm very easy to find. So if you want to talk to me personally, if you're in my state, if you want to visit me, no problem. So I'm not going to hide behind the camera. I'm not going to hide behind the keyboard. A lot of our people in the community do hide behind the keyboard and type, and that's all they're good for. I'm not here to try to push anyone's buttons. I just want to state my case on pivoting and why I believe the video that I saw, it just kind of, in a way, kind of rubbed me the wrong way as far as technique-wise. I'm not mad at the gentleman that was showing the seminar, that was teaching. I just want to say, look, I believe pivoting is very important and it's very powerful, and plus it's very provable. So anyways, let's get right into it, so that you know that I'm come in peace, and I just want to show you why I believe pivoting is important. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, now talking about pivoting, you can't talk about pivoting unless you're talking about the function of pivoting. What are you trying to accomplish when you pivot? For me, it's an upper body motion. I want to be able to throw a hard, solid punch by using my feet to turn my body so that my upper body can take over and hit with a certain amount of power. Okay, so what I would like to talk about right now is the jab, the cross, and the hook, and then also the uppercut. And a lot of people will say, well, if you say jab and cross together, it sounds like you're talking about boxing. I thought we were talking about Kung Fu San Soo. And yeah, I guess you could say that. A lot of people will believe that all you need in Kung Fu San Soo is the extension punch, the high hammer, the backhand, the back knuckle. You know, if you're going to limit yourself, then you know that that's not good. You should know that by limiting yourself is not a smart proposition. That's why when I do a lot of grappling myself, a lot of people in the community have a problem with that. They don't like the fact that I do grappling. They'll never say that per se, but they'll say, well, Jeff, you know, I'm not sure if he's really, you know, a San Soo person because he does that grappling stuff. Which to me is kind of weird, because how does that make me, if I'm already a Kung Fu San Soo practitioner and one that has reached the rank of master, how is it by learning Jiu-Jitsu is going to make me not a Kung Fu person? It just makes no sense to me. Maybe someone can explain that to me. However, it doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. So when you're talking about Jiu-Jitsu, and I hear some people who are Kung Fu people talking about Jiu-Jitsu like they know what they're talking about. In reality, they don't. Because how often do you see that person actually sparring on the ground? They'll say, well, I don't spar, I'm Kung Fu San Soo. That's fine. But you know, you don't understand the grappling world unless you practice the grappling. And you might say, well, San Soo's always had grappling in it. To me, that's a stupid statement. It really is. I mean, maybe you have a little bit of grappling, but you do not have the grappling that a jiu-jitsu person has. Okay, you don't understand what the deep half guard is, or the outside half guard. You say, well, what half guard? Yeah, I know half guard, but do you know how to attack from the deep half guard? Do you even know what a deep half guard is? Do you know how to use the guard? Do you know how to use a spider guard? Do you know how to use a rubber guard? Most likely you don't. If you're one of those people that say you know jiu-jitsu but you really don't practice it, you don't know anything, you don't know what I'm talking about. And what you don't know can and will hurt you, even possibly kill you. So wake up, smell the coffee, and understand that just because I do jiu-jitsu and I do kickboxing, I do boxing, and I do whatever, hell, if I even decide to do ninja stuff, it's not going to make me any less of a Kung Fu San Soo person. So let's get that out of the way real quick, and let's carry on. So why would it be important for you to understand how to hold your guard, be in a good stance, and throw punches? You might say, well, that's a sport combat fighting technique, and I wouldn't do that because whenever I bring my hands up, I'm engaging in a fight, and I don't want to do that. This is something I hear a lot, and I hear that as a Kung Fu person, I have the element of surprise on my side. That's great. And you know what? You're absolutely right. You do have the element of surprise. And every now and then, if you're walking into a situation where, you know, someone's trying to puff their chest up and get in your face, you can use the element of surprise by using psychology and deception. And that's by saying, hey, sir, I don't want to fight, and get close and put your hands closer to them. Maybe go for the eye jab. You might even say, look, I really don't want to fight. Put your hand out there. Hopefully they'll grab it so you pull it and knock them right out. Whatever. But what if they pushed you and, you know, your oil pressure just went through the roof, and now you're mad. You're like, oh yeah? And it was too late. You made a mistake, and now you gave away the element of surprise. So now the person's like, oh, this guy wants to fight, so they get their guard up. What are you going to do? Are you going to drop your hands, bend your knees, and say, attack me, throw a punch so I can downwind my block and do my thing? Don't put yourself in fantasy land. Let's be realistic. Sometimes you're going to need to get your hands up. Okay, for me, it's going to be 95% of the time. So when I have my hands up, you got to know how to hold your hands the right way. Holding them up this high to protect your face is not a good idea. You notice you can't see my eyes that well, but I can't see you that well. I have too many blind spots. So this is not a good idea. Watch a little early Randy Couture. He had his hands up this high. He was not per se a good striker at the time. He was mostly a person that had some boxing experience in the military, and then he did mostly wrestling, basically a great ground and pound type fighter. But now you see his hands down. His hands are closer here than they are here blocking his blind side. So whatever stance you choose, whatever way you hold your hands, you're going to have to find your own way. I just found that people are built differently. People have different comforts. You're going to have examples, and people are going to tell you to hold your hands different ways. You're just going to have to find the way that works for you. For me, I'm going to turn in this angle. I would like to have my right hand right here by my jaw, protecting my jaw. My left hand, I want it over the horizon of my eye. I don't want it too close because I don't want to get jammed. And also because I have my left hand forward, that's the hand that's going to strike first. It just pops out. Okay, so when I throw my cross, it pops out and it comes back. But I want this hand more reserved, ready to blast my opponent. This is my power hand. This is my feeling hand. That's why they say in boxing of course, this is the most important punch you can throw. So it's your range finder. It finds your range of your opponent. It makes sure that you're going to hit your mark. If you could touch him with this hand, you should be able to hit him with this hand, the power hand.